I'm back and I'm ready to cook our treat that we were talking about. When I sent Mommy and Daddy the information that we were going to be doing this on a video, I gave them the recipes too. So you should have everything that you need and you can make it at home whenever you get all the ingredients with Mommy and Daddy. But before that, we're going to get started on talking about what all we needed, okay? So we are going to start off with a bowl that we can use in the microwave because it has to be something safe to use in the microwave. And so I've got this big bowl that's going to be helpful. And we are going to use something called butterscotch chips. So it's kind of like chocolate chips, but they're flavored like butterscotch. So they have a different kind of flavor to them. And they're kind of a brown color that looks a little bit like peanut butter. See? Like that. Okay, so we need a whole cup of those. So I'm going to measure off into my little cup measurement here. Remember, this is called a measuring cup, and it measures dry stuff or things that we need that are not liquid. So that was our dry thing. Okay, and it's right there to my line, so I'm going to go ahead and pour that in my bowl. I got the trash. And now we're going to add just a half a cup of peanut butter right to that. And I've got this fun little measuring cup that I wish you guys could use with me because it's a lot of fun to pop out. But you see how it has like a thing in the middle? Uh-oh, I've got it upside down anyway. Oh, no I don't, I got it, we're good. All right, see this part slides down and this is where I measure. So I need to slide down to 1/2 of a cup. This is still a dry measuring cup, but you're going to end up pushing it out. And this is really good with anything that's really, really sticky, like peanut butter, because peanut butter is kind of hard sometimes to scoop out of a cup measurement. So I like to use this whenever I'm using peanut butter because it keeps it from sticking inside and I'm wasting peanut butter. Okay, does it look like I've measured it to the top? Need to push it down a little bit on the edges. There we go. A little bit more at the top. And if we have a little extra peanut butter, it's probably okay. But I'll scrape it off the top just like we usually do. Okay. There's my peanut butter. Now watch, this is the magic, okay? So whenever I turn it over like this, I have to just squeeze it out. Watch what happens. Pop. And then it just falls right off after well, it's not falling, so I'm going to scrape it. But that's okay. You see how it scraped off all the sides? And all I have is a little bit at the top. Okay? So now we're going to do, we're going to melt those chocolate chips with the peanut butter so it's all nice and smooth in the microwave. When we do that, we have to do it about 30 seconds each. So I'm going to do it about 30 seconds. I'll stir it up, and then we'll do 30 seconds again until it's nice and smooth. In the meantime, I'm going to get out a piece of paper because it's what we're going to use to put our little egg nests on. And this has peanuts and something called chow mein, crunchy chow mein noodles. We usually use those for like Chinese food toppings or crunchy things, but this time we're going to use it a little bit different. You could use something different if you had something different at home, like pretzels or anything else that's kind of crunchy, maybe like a cereal that's crunchy or something like that. So you can use something different if you want, but this really makes it look like an egg nest because they look like little sticks. I'll show you in a second. All right, my peanut butter is all nice and smooth and melty, but let's melt it with the chips. It's not quite, see it's still kind of chunky. All right, we're gonna get it going, but if we do it much longer than 30 seconds, we run the risk of melting it so much that it burns our chocolate chips. And we don't want them burned, our butterscotch chips, we don't want them burned, we just want them to be melted and smooth. So, put it right back in for another 30 seconds. And I'm going to show you while that's going what these look like. I got peanut butter on my fingers. See, they look like little sticks, little twigs like a bird would pick up to put in their nest. See that? See? Little crunchy twigs or sticks. So that's what we're going to use to make them look like that. And they don't have a whole lot of extra flavor to them, so they'll taste a whole lot like just the peanut butter and butterscotch that we have. And then we'll put some peanut butter, some peanuts in there. It's gonna make it a little extra crunchy, and it's gonna give a little salty twist to it. Okay. Oh, I wish you guys were here helping me stir. This would be your job, wouldn't it? Measuring and stirring and mixing. All right, it's pretty much smooth. That was only 2 times in the microwave, and as long as I keep going, it'll melt up the rest of them. Okay, now we're gonna put in, calls for about 1 cup of peanuts. I don't usually want that much, so I'm gonna go about 1/2 cup of my peanuts. About 1/2 of that. I'm gonna put that in, because I don't want too many peanuts in there, just like a little here and there. And it only calls for 5 ounces of these. And that's kind of hard to measure whenever I only had 1/2 a bag anyway. So I'm just gonna keep adding until it looks like about how sticky I want it to be. Okay? When you do this at home, you can practice your stirring and mixing just like I'm doing. I'm kind of scooping around the side of the bowl. See if I can show you. Scooping around the side of the bowl and making it flip on top. Watch. Turn the spatula over. Mix it around. Turn it over. I've still got quite a bit of gooey inside there, so I'm going to put a little bit more of my chow mein noodles. Stirring and folding it on top. Stir it around, fold it on top. Oh, that's gonna look just perfect. If you guys do this at home, maybe see if Mommy can take a picture or a video and she can send it to me and show me how you made your egg nests, okay? Sometimes they call these haystack cookies too, because it looks a little bit like hay. So, but I thought it would be fun to make them look like egg nests. Like, because we read that story about Horton sitting on the eggs in the egg nest, right? So now I'm gonna get a spoon, okay? Get these out of the way. You see my piece of paper here? What I'm gonna do is just take a big old scoop of these and put them right down on my paper. And then I'm gonna kind of make a little hole in the middle, and that's gonna be my nest hole for my eggs. There we go. And here comes another one. I bet my kids are gonna be anxious to have their cookies in a few minutes, just like you would be, all excited to have yours. You have to wait till these kind of firm up a little bit, because right now they're too gooey and sticky to eat. So you have to let them set up and cool off a little bit, and it'll get harder so that they will stay together and all dry, not too gooey. Okay? All right. I'm going to do the rest of these later just so I can show you what I'm going to do with my egg nests, okay? Now, sometimes you can't always go to the store when you want to, and that's kind of happening right now. I can't always get to the store. So, I'm going to use something different. I was going to have some little chocolate Easter eggs from the store, but today I'm just going to pretend that these are my eggs, so I'm going to use gummy snacks, okay? And my gummy snacks are going to be my eggs, just so it kind of looks the same. So if I put the gummy eggs right in the middle, they look like eggs. See that? So now I have my eggs in my nest. Perfect. Okay, but I will fix the rest of these in a minute because I want to show you another way to make an egg nest. And this is something you can have for breakfast. It's a really fun way to cook a breakfast with eggs and toast. Okay? You're going to get some bread just like you would have for toast any other time, but to make up the egg nest part, we're going to take a cookie cutter and make a circle. Sometimes whenever I'm, like for Valentine's Day or for some fun and I really want my kids to feel like I love them a lot, I give them a heart-shaped one. But today I'm going to use a circle so that it looks a little bit more like the egg nest. And I'm going to put that right in the middle and I'm going to squish it down and cut a circle right out of the middle, okay? Now we have a hole in our toast. All right, so I'm going to use some butter. And I'm just going to spread that around on the toast or on my bread so that it will get nice and yummy with the butter, but also toasty whenever I add it to the skillet. Okay, I'm going to do this too. I really like this part too. This is one of my favorite parts, the little tiny toast. I'm going to do both sides real quick. Okay, now I've got my toast all buttered up and my little hole. And now I'm going to go over to my stove, turn on my skillet. This would be the part that you want the adults to help you. And let that warm up a minute because we're going to go over and let our toast get all toasty on the skillet. And while we're waiting for that to warm up, I'm going to crack an egg. Okay, I'm going to get me a little bowl. Crack my egg in my bowl. So that I can pour it right in the middle of my nest. And that's what makes it an egg nest. But we want it to kind of toast a little bit before we get that. Let me clean up while I'm waiting. Maybe I'll finish my eggs. My nest's over here. There we go. Let's see how many this will make. If you want to make this go faster whenever you're making your little haystack or your egg nest cookies, you can pop it in the refrigerator or in the freezer, and that'll make it firm up a lot faster so you can eat it faster. But sometimes it's good to be patient. Just like Horton had to be patient, and he had to sit on that nest for a long time. 51 weeks, it said. 51 weeks. That's a long time to sit on a nest. I'm making these really big. These are big and chunky. If you wanted them smaller, could you make them smaller? Absolutely. Okay. Whoop. That made a mess. One more. One big scoop. Okay. That one's a little goopy. That one's got a little bit scattered out. There we go. Let's put some more eggs in there. I'm going to have to get out some more if I want them all to have an egg. Some eggs in it. I think that's all I got. One more. Well, the rest of them I'll have to get out some more gummy snacks in a minute. Okay. This way so you can see everything that's going on. All right, this is getting all nice and toasty. Now when we're using the stove, I want to see if I can help you learn some of the rules. When you have a pot or a skillet on your stove, you want to make sure that the handle is always facing right here or on this side. One way you don't want it to be, let me turn the light on so maybe you can see a little bit better. Is that helpful? Okay. One way that you don't want it to ever be facing is right this way. Because sometimes there's little babies, or sometimes you forget, or sometimes a mommy will walk by, and if I walk by and I hit that, that will pop right on me, or somebody that was standing underneath. Or a little baby will come and pull it off right there. We don't want that because that would be very, very hot for them. Okay? All right, we are ready now to add. I'm going to get a little bit of spray to put right in the middle where my egg is going to go. All right, now I'm just going to put the egg right in the middle of that hole. Now it's an egg nest. to do is sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper right on my egg. Just give it a little extra tasty flavor. Salt. And then we're going to give it just a minute to cook, and we'll put it on a plate. All right. Get a plate and a spatula. Okay, this one's ready to flip over because it's probably really toasty. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn it down just a little bit too much. Okay, now I'm going to flip over the egg. All right, the egg in the nest. Kind of have to scoop up underneath it. Be very careful so my egg doesn't come flying out of my nest. Okay. All right, we're almost done. I'll show you what it looks like after it gets a minute to cook. All right, I hope you get to cook these recipes at home with Mommy. If not, then you can try them whenever you can, when you get the recipes and you get the ingredients, okay? But these are really yummy. I wish you could smell them. They smell a whole lot like peanut butter for sure, but they have like that butterscotch flavor too. All right, let's see. I think my egg is ready. I like the middle to be just a little bit runny instead of all nice and firm. So I'm going to show you what it looks like now. Turn that off. Okay. So there's my egg in its nest. So now you can make 2 different kinds of egg nests. Alrighty, I love you guys, and I hope maybe I can see you soon. If not, I will show you in the video next week. Bye-bye, love you.